Chapter 4. Naomi's Perspective. "Dad! Get your gun!" I yelled. My mom came running in. "Naomi, what in the world is going on?" "Bullies are chasing us, so I thought I'd teach them a lesson and have Dad run them off with his gun." "Your dad isn't here right now. He's on a trip." I crossed my arms. Well, shoot. "Wait, I know." I ran and got my BB gun from the back door, pumped it a few times for extra power, and walked back to the front door. "Oh no! You're not going to shoot them, are you? You'll go to jail," my mom said. "It's not like I'm going to shoot them. I'm going to shoot at them." I opened the door. Keith and Troy were in the driveway. Jeff stood next to me. "Are you seriously going to do this?" he asked. I nodded. "Yep, I am." "Hey, you boneheads! Look this way!" I yelled and pointed the gun toward them and shot it. Keith yelped and ran off. Troy just stood there. Then he screamed and ran off. "So long, suckers!" I placed the gun over my shoulder. "You are the most boyish girl I have ever seen in my life," Jeff said. Is that a bad thing?" I asked and walked inside. "Not in your case," he said and followed me in. "You two are adorable," my mom said. "Mom, please don't do this." "Oh, I'm sorry. I'll be in the family room watching TV if you need me." She left. "I want to meet your parents if they're home now," I said. "Yeah, they probably might be home by now," Jeff said, and I walked into the family room. "I'm going back over to Jeff's house to meet his parents," I told my mom. "Okay, have fun." I walked to the front door and headed out the door. Jeff followed me. We heard sirens and saw a cop car drive by, lights flashing. "I wonder where they're headed in such a hurry," Jeff said. I shrugged and rounded a corner. "I think I just figured out where they're going." Jeff looked over my shoulder. "You can't be serious," he said and looked at me, and then he ran off. "Hey, wait up!" I called and ran after him. We ran up the drive to his house. "Jeffrey, what is the meaning of this?" His mom was standing in the doorway with a police officer. "What are you talking about, Mom?" he asked. "I'm talking about what happened today at the bus stop." She had this stern look on her face. I knew I should have stayed quiet. "There were these kids that were picking on me and Lou, so I stopped them," he said. "It's not Jeff's fault, Mom," I heard someone say. I looked in the house and saw Lou standing there with a knife. The police officer pulled her gun. Drop the knife, son, and come over here," she said. "I'm the one that hurt those bullies," Lou said. "Lou, no, that's not what happened at all. Please don't defend me," Jeff said. "Lou, Jeff is right. You don't have to do this," I said. "It's fine, you two. I know what I did, and I have to pay for it." Lou smiled a bit. Lou walked over to the policewoman, and she handcuffed him. "Lou, please don't." Jeff looked distraught. "Hey, keep my brother safe and out of trouble. All right, Nao?" Lou looked at me. I only nodded. The woman put Lou in the back of the car and drove off. "Jeff, come inside," his mom said. She looked at me. "You can come inside if you want, sweetie." I nodded. "Jeff?" I took his hand and he looked at me, and we walked inside. We sat down on the couch. I sat there and listened to his tears drop on the couch. I reached my arm around him. "I don't know why he didn't listen to me," he said through his tears. "Jeff, honey, you don't have to cover for your brother anymore," his mom said. "I am not covering for him. I am the one that beat up those kids. It was me," Jeff yelled and ran upstairs. His mom sighed. "I'm sorry you have to see him like this, dear," she said and gave me a faint smile. "It's okay. I'm used to seeing people sad," I said and got up. "I'm Naomi." I extended my hand to the woman. "I'm Mrs. Woods." She took my hand and shook it. "Could you go comfort Jeff for me? I want him to be happy for the birthday party for Billy tomorrow." She walked away. I walked upstairs and knocked on his door. "Jeff?" "Go away!" I heard through the door. "Jeff, open up or I'll kick down the door, and you should know very well that I can do it." I shot back. I heard a click and the door opened slightly. "May I enter your room?" He opened the door and I slid in. I know I shouldn't ask if you're okay because I know you aren't. So I won't ask. I sat on his bed next to him and put my head on his shoulder. You'll see him again, you know. Kids don't stay in juvenile detention forever. He'll be out in a day or two, I said. Yeah, I know. Lou shouldn't be in there, though. It should be Randy and his good-for-nothing idiots, he said. Yeah, I'm sorry I couldn't help you more on that situation. I should have backed you up more. If I had just said a couple more words and given them evidence of some kind, Lou would still be here. I looked at my trembling hands. Jeff's perspective. It's my fault. I should have told you about the thug trio before we even started school. I'm so sorry, Jeff. She got up and ran to my room. No. Wait, Deo, it's not your fault. I got up and jumped down the stairs and bolted outside. Gee, she's fast. I ran after her and finally caught her arm. Listen to me. It's not your fault. I shouldn't have beaten them up in the first place. Her whole body was shaking. I know, but still, if I had just told you about them, he would still be here. She faced me. She wasn't crying as her voice sounded. She was just shaking incredibly hard. Look at me in the eyes. She looked up, and I looked into her dark eyes. I could barely see myself in them. It's fine. You didn't cause this. It's mainly my fault. I wrapped my arms around her and hugged her. Are you all right now? She hugged me back. I guess I'll be fine. I looked her in the eyes again. She kissed me, and I kissed her back. I have to go back home now. My mom wants me rested for this kids' party tomorrow, I said. You're going to that too? Naomi asked. Yeah, we moved here the day before camp. The kids' mom came over and asked if we would come, I said. The little guy thinks I'm his sister or something, because I always babysit for them, she said and turned. Well, see you tomorrow. She walked away and I watched her go. The street lights flickered on as she went. I walked back to the house, went inside, headed upstairs and took a shower. I really don't want to go to this party. I'm not really a fan of kids. I finished showering and dried off, put clothes on, and lounged in bed and read. Jeff, turn out your lights. You want to be rested for tomorrow, my mom said. Okay, Mom. She shut my door and I turned off my light and fell asleep.